This video is going to be something different, something that I don't think I've ever talked about on my channel. It's not this kind of stuff I normally talk about. I want to share how to manifest anything you want. Basically, how I manifested my husband in 2 months. The reason why I use the word manifest is because that's what most people would understand. I don't really think of it as manifesting, but I'll just use the word to better explain the word so people understand what I'm trying to talk about. I don't want to waste too much of your time on this video. I just want to go straight to the point. So the first point is going to be you need to believe in yourself. So whatever it is you want to achieve in this world, you need to actually believe that you can achieve it. When I say believe, I don't mean just like waking up every day and saying, oh, I am this, I am, for example, you want to be rich, saying, oh, I am rich. And no, you have to actually believe that you are wealthy. You are exactly what you want to be. Like, you are the future version of yourself. Yeah, this is very difficult. I've seen a lot of videos talking about this, saying you have to believe, you have to actually feel it. You have to believe that you're a millionaire, or you're already married, or you're this before you can achieve it. It is hard. For example, you want to be a millionaire, or you want to make 10k a month, and you haven't made 10k a month before. You don't know the feeling of making 10k. You never run a business or done something that made you 10k. It is difficult for you to put yourself in that situation of making 10k a month, because first, you don't know how it feels to make 10k a month. Secondly, you've never done anything that made you 10k a month, so you probably don't even have any idea of what you can do to get there. Or maybe you already have something that you're currently working on, but it's not making you that much money, so it can feel quite discouraging. Being able to put yourself in that shoe can be very hard. But believe me when I say, if you just try hard enough, it genuinely works. You just have to try in any way that you can and believe that you can make that 10k a month. You don't have to, for me personally, you don't have to feel like you've already made 10k a month or start living a life like you're already making that amount of money. No, you just have to believe that what you're already doing, that thing you're trying to do, that thing you enjoy the most, will be able to make you that money if you're consistent with it. That's all you need to do. The next one is you need to be certain that you're doing this for a pure reason. This is just my opinion, really, what have worked for me. So for example, you're trying to maybe get married. I'm using this as an example, yeah, and you want to get married just because maybe you're a woman or you're a man, you're a certain age and you feel like it's time for you to get married. Things like that, it's going to be difficult for you to manifest it, because you don't really want to get married because that's genuinely what you want. You want to get married just because you're a certain age, or just because your family wants you to get married, or just because like you feel like the society needs you to get married at a certain age, or you feel some type of way about not getting married, not because you genuinely want to get married. That's why a lot of people do not get what they want, because you're not genuinely wanting that thing. You want that thing for a different reason. So when you genuinely want something, it's more likely to come into your life. It's not because of something someone has said or people looking at you a certain way, but it's just because that is what your goal is. That's what you deserve, and that's what you desire at that particular time. Now, this brings me to my next point, which is understand your superpower. I know it's weird. Every one of us have superpowers. Again, this is me just sharing my experience with you. We all are created differently, and we all have our own superpower. As we grow older, people seem to lose touch of themselves, me included. I lost touch of myself a long time ago. And finding yourself again will help you understand your superpower. And most people have their superpower right in their face. They don't even realize that they have it. Let me use myself as an example. My superpower that I've just only discovered that I had, and I didn't even know I have, is motivating people. Like encouraging people to do the impossible, basically. Not really the impossible, but just encouraging people to be able to do things. For example, I have a friend that I love so much. I care about her so much, yeah. And every time, since we've known each other for years now, every time she's feeling a certain type of way, I'm the one she calls. We do business stuff together, even though we're doing 2 different things, but it's still business for us, so we can rely on each other. So every time she's going through something, she would always call me and speak to me about it, because she feels like only me would understand. And funny enough, as I speak to her, every single time I speak to her, I'm always able to bring her from where she's feeling down and not feeling motivated or not feeling good about herself. All I need to do is talk to her and then say certain things to her, and then she's back to herself again. Another example of me doing this was when I was with my ex, and I remember they were struggling with their business. And then I remember back then TikTok was quite new to me. Obviously it's not new, but it was quite new to me. And then I would tell him, I was like, you need to get on TikTok. They're so smart and they know so much about properties and all that. And I used to tell them, you need to get on TikTok. You need to make these videos that you're making on YouTube, make it into short form and then post it on TikTok. For months and months, I would, maybe even like a year, I would try to convince him to get on TikTok, but he never did it. And one day I was finally able to sit him down and basically just talk him through it and show him proof, because I was doing TikTok at that time, show him proof on what I'm able to get on TikTok. And I said to him, you need to get on this because you have so much value that you can share with people, and you can actually genuinely make money by just sharing your value with people, and people will trust you and want to talk to you and want to learn exactly what you do. And then he finally listened to my advice and then started posting on TikTok. And believe me, as soon as he started posting on TikTok, they took off like crazy. Though we're not together anymore, but we still spoke every once in a while. If he needed me to help him with something, he would get in touch with me. And then now he's making so much money. Probably don't even remember who told him to get on TikTok in the first place, which was me. But being able to do that, being able to talk him into doing what he wanted to do, made me feel really good. And seeing that he's succeeding so well now, it's another example of me being able to like use my superpower quite well. I did not pay attention to this because for me it wasn't anything special. And then I started doing this with my husband, and then I'll do it with my sister, and then I'll do it with my mom. And then I realized, oh my days, it's actually a superpower for me. I mean, you might laugh about it, but I genuinely think that is a gift that was given to me by Allah, because it's funny to be able to just talk someone out of doing certain things. Like for me, that is a big skill. And I did not know that I do these things, but later I started to realize like, oh wow, I do have that kind of influence on people where I could talk you into doing something, obviously not something bad, but like when you're feeling discouraged or not feeling yourself or feeling low, and I could easily be that friend. I could be that friend to anyone at all, doesn't necessarily have to be my family member, and then talk you through certain things and then talk you out of certain things. For me, that is a big superpower. Another superpower I realized that I had was I can learn anything. So when I set my mind to do something, I put my all into it. Even if I get tired, I'll wake up and I don't get discouraged. I will keep doing that thing until I get the result that I'm trying to get out of it. And even if it don't work, I would find another way around it, or I will do something else. But I never give up in pursuing that goal. For example, I've been trying to make money online for a long time. And most of you who know me on this channel know that I've lost a lot of money to different circumstances. I'm not going to talk about that. And if for some people, they would have given up by now, but I still didn't give up. I kept going, I kept trying things until I stumbled into YouTube automation, which is currently making me my money, which I'm so grateful to Allah for. Most people would have given up after those trial and errors and losing so much money to different kind of scams. They would have given up, but I didn't, because I was determined to get something out of it. I was determined to get the result that I wanted to get. And through doing that, I was able to find what I finally enjoyed doing and was actually making me money right now. So the fact that I can just put myself in a situation where I will learn anything and I will go deep and I will find the solution to that thing that I wanted to do made me feel like that is my superpower. That is a very big superpower. Literally, the amount of things I know in my brain, the amount of things I've learned, the amount of courses I've taken, like I could literally go and start teaching people things, just teaching them out of my brain, because I know so much. Even though most of them, I don't use them, but I know so much because I've learned so much and everything is like in my brain. My next point is to have someone who's always your number one. You don't need a lot of people. I don't have friends. It's just me, myself, and I. My sister is my best friend. I also have a friend in America, the one that I talked about earlier. I speak to her as well. And then my husband is my friend. I don't have any other friends. Do you know what I mean? When you're saying best friends, the one you go out with and all that stuff, I don't have that anymore. But having someone who understands you, but not only understands you, but is also able to tell you the truth, like be honest with you, is very important. And for me, I feel like I can be that person to anyone. Doesn't have to be my friends, it doesn't have to be someone that I already know. I can be that person for anyone. Again, which brings me back to the previous one that I talked about. That is my superpower, having someone that don't really care about your flaws and can advise you and talk to you and tell you exactly what you need, not what you want to hear. It's very important. If you don't have that kind of person in your life, I suggest getting one. I mean, I don't even mind. I can be that person for you. I'll put my email address on the screen. You can email me and talk to me whenever you want, as long as you're okay with me being honest, because I'm quite blunt. I'm a very blunt person, and I'll be honest with you, and I'll tell you the truth, and I'll tell you it is. There's no need for sugarcoating. Fortunately, I can't sugarcoat. Even if I try, it burns me on the inside. Yeah, so you need that one person who can tell you the truth and help encourage you to do the things that you need to do in order to achieve your goal. Now, the next one, I think some people are gonna be like a bit woo-woo about this. I don't know, I don't really care, but I'm going to tell you anyway, is to believe in your angel. Believe that there's an angel always next to you. There's this book I read, it's called The Reality Transurfing. In part of that book, I'm still reading it, I've not finished reading, it's quite a long book. Part of that book is where the author was talking about angels, everyone having an angel, that most people do not realize that they have an angel with them that is constantly watching them, watching what they're doing, constantly supporting them, constantly like being there for them, even in the days where they're struggling or the days where they feel alone. There's always that angel next to you. It made me realize, I mean, I always knew there was an angel, I always felt there was an angel next to me, but I did not understand it. After reading this book, it made my mind open, and I realized, wow, that is that feeling that I've been feeling since. My mom, my sister, sometimes they ask me, like, my sister laughs and she's like, how come you don't have friends? You don't have anyone? I say to her, I don't need friends. I don't know why. I just like being myself. I don't really feel like I need friends. If I need to talk to anyone, I can talk to you, or I can talk to my angel. And whenever I say that, she laughs. She doesn't believe it. I know she doesn't, but it's okay. I don't care. So that book was saying that everyone have an angel that is with you. So the times where you're struggling, where you're feeling down or crying, maybe you've gone through a bit of breakup, or maybe you tried the business and it didn't work out, or maybe you even got scammed like me, there's an angel always there watching you and looking after you. And all you need to do is just speak to your angel. So recently what happened to me is I was saying to my husband, I was saying to him, there's an angel always next to you, and he was laughing and making jokes about it. I know he doesn't take it seriously, but recently I think I uploaded a video 3 or 4 days ago, and where I was learning how to use make.com. It's an automation platform where I was trying to automate my script writing for the new YouTube channel I was starting, because I run YouTube automation channel, and I was trying to start a new one. So it took me 5 days to actually build this automation. And then one day I logged in. I don't know what I pressed. I mistakenly deleted everything. I don't know what happened. Don't ask me, because even I still don't know till now. And after doing that, I cried my eyes out. I cried so much. There was no one at home, no one for me to talk to. At that point, I genuinely felt alone. And then for a minute there, I realized, I was like, no, I'm not alone. I can actually speak to my angel. Even though I believe it's a she, I like to use she. Even though she already knows how I'm feeling at the moment, because obviously she's watching me, but I want to speak to her. So I was just talking to her, literally just talking to her. And I was like feeling that she's replying to me. And then something just told me to go upstairs, chill, relax, it's fine, it's okay. Don't even worry about it. At this point, I didn't even think that I already knew how to set it up, so it won't take me 5 days. Bear in mind, I was in a state where I was crying and worried and just angry with myself. My mind wasn't thinking that, oh, you already know how to do it, so you could just do this easily. But after speaking to my angel and then going upstairs and just laying down and actually doing what she told me to do, I later came down the next day, turned on my computer, and I started building the automation again. It literally took me, I think, 2 hours to build something that initially took me 5 days to do. And this time I even did it differently. I would say I did it better this time as well. And then made me realize, saying to myself, wow, I cried my eyes out yesterday just because I lost something that wasn't even that good in my opinion. And then later I came today and I was able to do that twice as fast. It took me a few hours this time. And then I was able to do it even better. It's crazy how I was crying, and if I did not listen to my angel, guarantee I would be sat here crying for hours, because I know myself, because I put my all into something, and when I lose it, it really hurts me. I'm that kind of person, like, it really burns me. It doesn't really hurt, it burns my bone, and I cry, and that cry is, it's a painful cry. So just doing that, I'm thinking, wow, everything that is happening around me makes me believe that there's an angel always watching after me more and more, every single thing that's happening. So what I'm trying to say is, you just have to believe. You have to believe. Maybe straight away you're not going to be able to be like, oh yeah, there's an angel around me. Gradually train your mind to know that even when you're sleeping, there's someone watching over you. When you're doing your work, there's someone watching over you. When you're sad, there's someone watching over you. Once you train your mind to start thinking that, believe me, you start to feel better. Every time something goes wrong, you will start to speak to your angel, and then you will be able to come up with a solution faster. Believe me, it works. Just try it. The next point is to care less about what other people think. I used to be the mother no caring, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie. I never cared on the outside, but on the inside, I would maybe be bothered, still not caring, but be bothered about it. But now I don't anymore. I don't bother about nothing. I don't care about nothing. The only thing I care about is my God, my family, and the things that I'm doing. So you need to learn to care less about what other people think. The way to do this is, I tried this with my husband a few days ago. He was going through something, and I said to him, babe, listen, yeah, if you were dying right now, you were dying, it was your last moment, will you be thinking about the thing that is bothering you right now? He was like, no. I'll be thinking about my family. I'll be thinking about, I forget what else he said. And I was like, exactly. So do you think whatever it is that is worrying you right now is worth you thinking about or worrying over? It was like, no, actually, no. It's funny that it works. We all worry about things that we shouldn't be worrying about. Things that are not even worth worrying about. Literally. Because if you think about it, yeah, if you're dying right now, would you be worried about money? Definitely not. Would you be worried about, oh, how my business is going to succeed in the next 5 years? Of course not. Would you be worried about, oh, I'm not married, or I'm 30 years old, or I'm getting older, I'm not married yet? No, you would not be thinking about that. You'd be thinking about, oh, how am I dying? How am I going to get well? Is there a way I can take it back and have more time to live? Or what's going to happen to my family? Or am I going to make it to heaven? That's what you'll be thinking about. So if those are not the things you would worry about when you're dying, so why would you worry about it now? There's no point. Because at the end of the day, we're all going to die. You're going to die. I'm going to die. And when we all die, at the end of the day, I believe in Judgment Day, we're not going to be worried about how much we made. We're not being worried about how rich we are. We're not going to be worried about anything at all. So why worry about it while you're alive? It's not worth it. That's how I think about it. So the next time you're worried about something, or maybe you haven't done well in school, or you failed your exam, or whatever it is you're worried about, just think for a minute and say, if I was dying right now, will I be thinking about this? Will I be worried about money? No. If the answer is no, then it's not worth worrying about.